up, you blundering fools. It's time for the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast. Get all the toy talk your evil hearts could desire from these nincompoops. Jason and Elgin.
Yo, Joe, and welcome to the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast, where friends get together to talk about one of our shared loves,
shawarmas,
and also toy collecting. We're here to celebrate how these little colorful pieces of plastic can transform you into a little kid again. If this is your first time listening to us or watching us live on YouTube every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, first of all, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. You'll also learn soon enough that we are not toy experts. We're just toy enthusiasts. So we're not always going to get the details right. And that's okay. We're all friends here. But speaking of details, let me introduce everyone. Hi there. I'm Jason. Over there, that's Elgin.
That's me.
I'm Elgin. And joining us on this episode are two special guests who know a thing or two about nostalgia, pop culture, and the weird and wonderful corners of fandom. We got Brian Godsil and Rod Hutchinson, co-hosts of The Wrong Podcast Died. These guys bring their sharp wit, deep knowledge, and love for all things cult and collectible to the table, making them the perfect duo to chat about the simple yet iconic figures we're celebrating today. Get ready for some laughs, hot takes, and maybe even a few wild toy memories as we dive into the charm of limited articulation with Brian and Rod. Hey guys, welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going?
It's good. When I thought limited articulation, these are the two guys who remind me most of it. So anyway, tell everybody.
I was wondering if that was like a dig on that.
Yeah,
maybe.
Are we fat? We can't move very well. Like
old and can't move.
Well, say hi. Tell us about yourself and your relationship with toys.
You go first, Rod.
Oh, well, thank you. Okay. Well, I'm Rod, and yeah, I've been collecting since 2018. That's when I got rid of my cable TV and I dug really deep into horror movies and things. And I found out, there's these pop figures that are horror themed, and went from there, got a bunch of NECA figures, whatever random stuff I could find sometimes. But yeah, and then I'm a bit of an unboxer most of the time, but there are a few things that I'll keep in a box.
I think Brian disagrees with you on that.
Yeah. He's
You're now fired.
influenced.
You're now fired from the show.
Yeah,
You're off the show.
Well, that's cool.
Is it my turn?
yeah, it's your turn now.
I figured you'd take longer, Rod.
I know,
You
right?
Talk my damn ear off. Well, my name's Brian. I'm a member of The Wrong Podcast Died. I'm the co-host of The Wrong Podcast Died. I'm the co-host of the I Like It Spooky Horror podcast with my co-host Clint, and I am a member of the Cult of Clint.
Yes,
we leave everything in the box. Not everything, but most things stay in the box. And I guess I do that because I have one room in this house that's mine, and I don't have a lot of room. So as I pick stuff up, I have to sell stuff to buy new stuff. So it's more resellable if it's in the box.
Sure.
And I don't tend to buy stuff unless I want to keep it, unless I find it for a really good deal. I'm kind of like Rod. I was working a night shift job at the hospital. I was by myself in an office. I'm like, what the hell am I going to do with all this free time? So I started listening to podcasts, and that's how I know Jason from the Attack of the Killer podcast. And I've maybe listened to every episode over the years.
Humble brag.
Yeah.
And then I started watching horror movies. And when you start watching these movies and you get into this world, there are collectibles, and there are probably more collectibles now
than ever.
We're living in a golden time of collectibles and physical media and just everything. You would not believe the stuff that you can find that you would never thought you would find. So it's a great time to be alive, Not a great time for my wallet.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah,
for sure.
I think we all kind of have to be picky. If you can see behind Jason, it's Transformers. Elgin, I know you have a lot of stuff, but it's He-Man. I've kind of picked Return of the Living Dead, a little My Bloody Valentine, and some Godzilla and Joe Bob. So maybe I didn't pick anything.
I thought I narrowed it down. Yes, I did it.
I think it expanded from my time.
When you say it out loud, it seems like a lot more.
So, thank you guys for joining us today. We're happy to have you here.
I'm still thinking about this articulation thing, though.
Well, before we jump into today's episode, we've got something exciting to tell you about. Our Patreon and YouTube community, The Core. When you enlist in The Core, the Cracktastic organization of retro plastic specialists, you unlock a treasure trove of exclusive perks made just for hardcore collectors like you. You get bonus episodes, shout-outs, early access, plus an exclusive chat with us and the other Core members. So don't wait. Enlist in The Core today. Just go to enlistinthecore.com to help support the show.
Yeah, do it.
Now, we'll wait.
Well, not every action figure needs 30 points of articulation to be amazing.
Blasphemy.
Believe it or I know. But in this episode, the crew is going to dive into the world of figures that keep it simple, but still steal our hearts. Whether it's a classic 5 POA, that's 5 points of articulation, toys, vinyl collectibles, or chunky figures with loads of personality, we're celebrating the charm of minimal movement with maximum appeal. From nostalgic childhood favorites to modern retro-inspired lines, let's give these beautifully basic figures the love they deserve. I'm excited for this today. And then later, Elgin's going to take us on a little tour of a toy store, and that's going to be exciting. Mm-hmm. And you can all follow us on all the social media platforms, including Patreon, and those links can be found at our website, cracktasticplastic.com. And while you're surfing the interwebs, be sure to stop by our sponsor, toyhacks.com, for all your repro label needs. They have an armory where you can get some toy-accurate 3D printed weaponry and tons of amazing sticker sets for all your toys. We have a monthly contest that Elgin's going to tell you all about.
That's right. Every month we have a contest to give away a $5 coupon to Toy Hacks. So be sure to go to our social media platforms and check that out. You have to comment to win. So then we'll pick your comment if it's funny or interesting or really dumb. If it
Right.
it tickles our fancy, we'll probably pick it. So, but you have to comment to win $5 to spend at toyhacks.com. They have tons of great stuff out there. Dioramas, stickers, and decals, and lots of other 3D printed stuff. So check that out at toyhacks.com.
All right, but right now let's talk about what we've picked up lately in a segment we call Thrill of the Hunt.
Listen up, you fools! If anyone knows more about searching for the most unique items in the world, it's me, Cobra Commander. In my reign as Cobra's leader, I have acquired countless items, but those meddling Joes have foiled my attempt at worldwide domination over and over again. But it's the thrill of the hunt that fuels my superb rule of Cobra. Pay attention to my loyal subordinates as they tell you of their latest exploits and acquisitions. It's the thrill of the hunt, Cobra!
All right, Elgin, kick us off. What have you got lately, pal?
All right, I got some more turtle-related things, Ninja Turtle-related stuff. Seems like it just keeps appearing at my house for some reason. I'm not sure why. But for Christmas, I ended up getting another of a different crossover that I'm also collecting, apparently, of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That's right. I got this Shredder that's also the Green Ranger. He looks awesome.
Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah.
With this soft goods cape like the moths got to it or something.
Shredded.
It's shredded. He's got some Shredder-esque claws, gold paint on his gauntlets there as well. Has interchangeable hands and lots of points of articulation to move them all around. Gold, but I love the gold and green on there. Looks awesome. I do have another. I have the April O'Neil and Michelangelo 2-pack. Now I'm just missing the other two packs that have the other turtles, and then there's like a foot soldier, I think, in the other one. He also has some blast effects you can put on his claws. So he's like, whoosh.
That's cool.
So these are part of the Lightning collection of Power Rangers. They did a crossover of this a few years back. But yeah, they look pretty awesome. They scale well with Masterverse figures and classified and wrestling figures.
Who are they made by?
They are made by Hasbro, I believe.
Hasbro.
Yes. They make all the Power Ranger stuff. Oh. Even though Playmates usually makes Ninja Turtle stuff. But yeah, Shredder as Tommy. Rest in peace, Tommy.
Ah.
Are you a fan of Prince?
The purple cape, I'm guessing.
Okay. Got it.
Jimmy said in the chat, must be a fan of Prince.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, that's true. Continuing on with some Ninja Turtle action. I got the Best Action or BST AXN version of Krang. That's right. Woo-hoo! He's huge, large, and in charge. He's as big as my head almost.
And that's a big head, guys.
Yeah. Compare him to the Shred Man there.
Wow.
He's towering over him. You can't take Krang out of the android body here. You just pop him open like this.
Oh, neat.
And out he comes. They have built-in arms so you can control it. So when you take him out, you have to put the arms back on him. Otherwise, he just looks like a wrinkled nutsack, I guess. He does have little tentacle arms you can attach.
Nice.
And they articulate as well. But I just keep him in the body because that's how he should be. And then you can pop off the hands as well as interchangeable hands. But it looks like, it looks like the cartoon. That's the one thing nice about these Best Action Loyal Subjects figures is like how well they look like the cartoons. 80s cartoons. Early 90s. What do I have? I have so you can put some like guns on him.
Nice.
Like that, in his hands, or like a giant sword, katana, or an axe, or a drill bit. So you can put all the stuff in his hands, take off his fists, and then plug those into his hands. But yeah, it also came with an IDW comic book. It was like a giant best of, so it had like 4 different comic books in it, like a 100-page thing. There's a video of this on our Turtle Thursday playlist on our YouTube channel as well. Check it out. Of the review of this guy. Same with that Shredder. These are all on Turtle Thursday videos. Actually. But yeah, this Krang, it's awesome. I got this for Christmas as well.
Yeah. Anything with that much plastic in it is just awesome.
It's just, I've never had like an actual Krang android body, like a vintage one. So this is like as close as I could come to like getting something that's that really accurate to looking at it, and it, it scales bigger because it should be bigger above the Ninja Turtles as well. So it's like perfect for that, in my battle scene that I have on a shelf down here. And finally, another of the Turtles of Grayskull, another crossover line, the Turtles of Grayskull, which is an awesome toy line if you're into Motu and Ninja Turtles, which I am. I got this Leonardo. This is the Stealth Ninja Leonardo, which seems kind of redundant in its name.
It does, yeah.
But he's got more of the kind of samurai-esque clothing on him as well.
Yeah.
And this shell does come off to use as a shield, but I usually just keep him on it because if you take a turtle shell off, you'll kill the turtle.
That's
part of his body. But yeah, so he's got his. This is the next wave. I'm still waiting. I think I have them in my pile of loot now. The other 3 of this wave coming. They ended up shipping this one earlier for some reason. Big Bad Toy Store seems to do that sometimes.
Yeah.
Or maybe it missed. It might have missed my pile of loot time. Anyway, but I got one of them of the 4 of the stealth series that they're doing. But yeah, that's Leonardo.
Yeah, I love that blue is really popping.
Yeah, and you can take off all of the stuff as well.
Hell yeah!
If you wanted to, his little cloak thing, or pop it back on, so he's stealth. They did a stealth He-Man, and they're doing some other ones as well. But yeah, even like scaling with the shredder, not too bad. I have him in a fighting pose because I took him off the shelf earlier from where I had him displayed. But yeah, just kind of nice touches like the little keys on his belt and everything. This line is just amazing. If you haven't gotten into it now, I would say don't wait.
Hurry up. Yeah.
They're all pretty awesome figures. Like even the average ones are still better than most, if that makes sense.
They're just going to reuse that mold for the Last Ronin turtles.
Yeah, that's what it feels like too. It feels like a Last Ronin-esque, thing as well, which is cool. But yeah, that's all I got right now. I figured I'd keep it short so we got multiple people.
Well, speaking of multiple people, hey Brian, you ready to go?
Yeah, I got a couple things over here. So new pickups. One of the first things I picked up. This is from Fright Rags. Plastic meatball and slasher design. It's the Monster Vision Joe Bob.
Heck yeah!
And it glows in the dark, and it's still in color. still in the container or whatever you call it.
Card.
Yeah, on the card, he's got a little bottle of beer here.
Does it glow in the dark?
Yeah, yep, it's glow in the dark too.
Sweet.
Slasher Design does amazing artwork for any of the Joe Bob stuff, and they actually did a print for this, and I have that. It's still in the sleeve, so I need to put it in a frame. But even the back's fun.
That's
I think
cool.
This is like sign up for a VHS thing. Yeah, enter to win. I don't think you can win, but it has a beer food grip and lawn chair sitting action. That's the 2 things that it does. That's it.
That's the 2 things he does.
Yeah, it's so great.
It sits and drinks beer. So,
just like my uncle.
It's like, like uncles and stepdads all throughout the world. So what? His legs move, his head moves, and his arms move. Yeah.
Sweet.
So what, 5 points?
5 points.
And then
I picked freedom.
I picked this up at Target. Yeah, it's been a little while. I don't buy a lot of toys anymore, but I found this at Target in Davenport, Iowa. So I was in Iowa. But it's a Godzilla from Singular Point. So from the cartoon.
That's cool.
And it's still in the box, of course. But
I think you could easily take that out of that. It's barely a box. I would barely call that a box.
Come on.
Its like head moves, its forearms move, and its tail moves. So 6 points, maybe. But yeah, it's, and then the back there.
This isn't a math podcast.
Yeah. Well, thank God, because I think I'd fail.
I know.
Yeah, I just thought it was a cool looking Godzilla. I thought it was the one from
like the monster stuff, like King Kong.
No, from the Godzilla that was the one before -1. Oh God, why can't I remember the name of it? Brian Clark's like sitting at home, like, yeah, what's this one?
Oh, the Shin, like Shin Godzilla.
Yeah, Shin Godzilla. That's one I thought it was from at first. Where did I put my Godzilla? Oh, here's my other one.
I heard him screaming. That's why I answered.
Speaking of screaming, we had Tad here in the chat. He says, "Thanks a lot, Brian."
I wasn't wondered if that would look familiar.
Yeah, it looked kind of familiar.
Tell him
Tad
to calm
says,
down.
"Thanks for showing the same toy I did 2 weeks ago." Oh,
it's true.
But then
it looked good both times.
Godzilla Ultima. This is from Godzilla Singular Point 2. He must grow from that to this.
Yes.
So just a little fatter body in a different color. I don't know. His faces look kind of weird on these. I don't know if you can see his face there. I'm like, what is going on with this?
Closer to the camera.
What is wrong with his face?
It's his mullet
right there. Right there. Is it? Yeah, like what is? I don't know. Yeah, he's got a mullet on him. There's the back of it.
Oh, it's
cool,
80s
though,
Godzilla.
Just kind of, yeah.
The mullet.
There you can kind of see his face. I don't know what's going on.
It's like a Henson puppet, like
yeah.
It's like what?
But probably the weirdest part is look how fat his thighs are. Look at that.
He didn't skip leg day.
Did not.
Did not. Yeah.
You got to lift that around all over Tokyo.
Yeah. Yep. It's like grandma thighs. You know when grandma gets older, she
with like cankles.
Yeah. He doesn't have the grandma arms though. You know, the ones that
flapping arms.
Yeah, the ones that make good homemade noodles.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
You got new ways to describe toys now, Elgin. This is great. Grandma thighs. Right.
Add that to the list.
Yeah, so they're pretty cool. And I think they were both $14 a piece when I found them at Target.
Sure.
And I just picked them up, and now they're kind of hard to find. I don't know. So, bingo wings. Yeah, there you go. Bingo wings.
Tad to the rescue on that one. Very cool. Those are great toys, though, for the price. You know, they'll look good on your shelf out of that box. That's not a box, right, Elgin?
Well, Joe Bob.
It's more of a display. It's almost like a diorama.
Joe Bob's still in the box because I haven't found a spot for him, so he's going back in the plastic wrap.
Bubble wrapping it.
He's suffocating.
He'll be all right.
All right.
Well, is that all you showing off?
Well, yeah, I got to save stuff for later, right?
All right. What do you think, Hot Rod?
Oh, well,
you're here.
Technology and I don't get along very well, but we'll see what happens here. So I've picked these up. It's probably been a while though, but the soda pop Funkles, and I got the Sam from Trick or Treat, which I don't know. It's kind of hard to see, but my very first one that I ever found was the Chase with the lollipop.
First try.
So I did have to go back and get the regular one because I mean, there's no way I was going to get a Chase twice in a row.
That'd be funny if you did.
So, you know, he's got the third one. He just has a sack in the regular one, but so those were pretty cool. And the last thing I picked up recently, which kind of goes with the topic today, but is the Funko Rambo Gizmo.
Oh yeah, I saw him in the store the other day.
Yeah,
nice.
That's so cool.
Look at all that movement.
Yep.
I mean, I've never seen this much movement. How does this work? Okay, I'm done.
Do you like those Funko sodas? How many do you think you got?
I actually don't have very many. I have
a 6-pack of them.
Yeah,
6-pack. Yeah, that's what's right here.
Oh, that's it.
I just have a Killer Clown one, the Shorty, I believe, somewhere.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
they're neat. I resisted them for so long, and I was like, just buying the pops is enough, right? But now we got to do sodas too. And then
I fully resisted.
Years later, I'm like, well, they are cool. When I see them, they're cute as hell. But
no, I had told myself before I started diving back into horror that I was never going to buy these. They look stupid, the Funko Pops, period. And I have lined up in my small apartment. I had to sell some at Halloween-a-Palooza a couple years ago.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Man, that was rough.
Cool. Well, I got a few things too. I'll start with, he's an obvious repaint because the Transformers Studio Series line has a little subline called Gamer Edition, and it's Transformers that are from the video games, and War for Cybertron is the specific game. And they did a Starscream last year, and when they do one of the jets, there's usually going to be repaints of the other jets. So here we got Skywarp repainted in his beautiful purple. He's badass, and there's some focus. Yeah, he's really cool.
That's good. I like the colors.
Yeah,
I
it's
still
a
need
little.
I still need that Skywarp from the small one.
Oh yeah,
core
you
class.
do. This is like a little softer purple, but it seems to really work. There's several different grays, a lighter silver, different gunmetal-y. I don't know. It's pretty cool.
It's not lavender, right?
It's not quite. No, it's in person. It's a lot more straight purple with a pretty good shine on it. But yeah, here it looks more subtle. But yeah, Skywarp from the Gamer Edition. Speaking of repaints, this guy's a repaint of before Transformers were Transformers. They came from Japan and were in another toy line. And Takara's the original company that did these. And this is a guy that was supposed to come out when Blitzwing is a triple changer Transformer. And he came out in Transformers in America in a tan and purple color combination. But in the original version, his paint job was more of a green and silver. And so he never came out this way. And then eventually the Collectors Club and BotCon and stuff, they or was eHobby, I don't remember, but there was a group that put out that original Blitzwing mold, but in the original Diaclone colors. Diaclone was the first version. So this is a homage to the original concept of the original Blitzwing. Yeah, there isn't a lot of blue here, but his head and his sword, and it really stands out a lot. But yeah, he turns into a tank and a jet and a robot, and he's pretty awesome. You can see a little bit of the tank turret here on the back, and his wings, of course. But yeah, he's pretty cool. And in person, yeah, this is green-ish, but it's somewhere between green and gray. It's real dark and just an interesting color combination for anytime you see a toy that you know and have known your whole life for 40 years, but then get to see it again in a different color scheme. It's just like, oh, it's brand new and it's amazing. This guy, gosh, I guess he's a repaint too. Of another triple changer, Astro Train, who was a train and a space shuttle and a robot. And they were able to bring a Japanese-only character over here into this mold. And now I'm just blanking on his name. But he's more of our Galaxy Shuttle's his name. And he was literally a black and white kind of spaceship Challenger kind of spaceship. And but it was only a toy ever in Japan in this color. So they were able to use the Astro Train mold that was a space shuttle and put him in his Galaxy Shuttle colors. And so it's a awesome way to get the Galaxy Shuttle character, because I'm never going to have this Japanese only, back in the day version. So it's just a exciting way to get that toy in a mold that I already have as Astro Train. But anyway, but super cool. Was always super rare, hard to find, and I have a version of him. He's cool. One more, I didn't even know it existed, and I love that, because not too many things get by me these days because of this dang podcast, But we were just Tiffany and I walking through Walmart as we do, looking at toys, and there it was on the shelf, and I'm like, holy shit, I didn't even know this was a thing. Yoink. You know how that goes. And it's Earth Spark from the toy line Earth Spark, which is a current to the latest cartoon that's on Paramount Plus, which is fantastic and an incredible cartoon. And there are actually a few more toys left to come out for that line. Mm-hmm. And within the lines for Earth Spark, there's, like really higher end ones, there's kid ones, and then there's I don't think you can get more simple than this. Mm-hmm. And that's what this is. It's called Where the heck did it go? A Tacticon. And that's just what kind of toy it is. And this toy is a toy that you transform by putting your finger on it, and then it kind of becomes a finger puppet.
Oh, I think I've seen some of those.
Yep. They're, $5. They're in the toy section. It sometimes feels, once he's in robot mode, you're like, I just stuck my finger in this toy's butt. But so now I have Rod's attention.
Yeah,
here we go.
Thought never occurred to me, especially the last one where you said it was a train and it was a rocket. No, nothing bad came to mind.
But what's even more, and I have a couple of these, and they're neat. But I didn't know they made a Starscream one until I saw it in the store. And you see a Starscream, you got to buy a Starscream. So that's what I do. It's the rule. So here on this front, come on, focus. You'll see the plane, and you see it on the finger there. I'll show you how it works on the back. Just some nice artwork. Oh, Starscream.
What kind of lube do you use?
That's inappropriate.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
I think it's like automotive or something.
Yes, 10W4. Yeah. God damn it.
There's a pss, pss, pss.
So when he's there in plane mode, you kind of just push your finger down on it, and it kind of snaps around your finger.
Just gently.
Yes, and then it becomes this finger puppet, as shown right there. It's as simple as could be, just transformed. It's dumb.
So theoretically, you could have like two of them like fighting each other.
Oh yeah, or 5 anyway. Oh my, and there is no art. So to segue into today's topic, there is no articulation. There's no arm movement or head or nothing. There's nothing to it. It is what it is once it is. Yeah, like I said from the top, just to insult you turds one more time, when I thought limited articulation, I thought Rod and Brian. Because I knew Rod did a lot of pops, which is great because I don't normally have a ton of pop support here. I mean, Elgin does some, and that's great, but just in the world, there's not enough Funko Pop support.
True.
So I wanted just more friends that do that, which is great. And then I knew Godzilla not necessarily does a ton of toys, but he does toys all the time. Don't let him fool you. When he sets up at conventions and as a vendor, he's got toys all over his table. But I knew that he had a lot more of the reaction style stuff from all the Joe Bob things. And yeah. So anyway, let's I like it. Like I know so like okay. when Masterverse came out, and it was just like it went kind of from Origins to Masterverse for Elgin. It went from like, okay, like they 16. They updated He-Man stuff. Okay, that's great. But then they went to Masterverse, and it was like 30 points. And it was just like, oh my God.
They went full NECA.
Yeah, full NECA, full Marvel Legends. You can pose anything. There's frickin' toe articulation now. And like, that's awesome. But also, I like dumb little toys that don't hardly do anything. Like, is that okay? Do you guys think that's okay?
That's fine. It's all good. I got plenty of stuff here.
They make great displays.
Yeah.
Just sit them up pretty much anywhere. And
yeah.
When I think people our age, we grew up with limited articulation. It wasn't within our reach. Maybe they had stuff that we didn't know about that was way high end when I was a kid, but I never saw any of it. I mean, one of my best memories from Christmas was getting the little blue WWF ring that wasn't even like a ring. It came like half the box was the WWF ring, and then there was like 6 little figures that maybe moved at the waist and the arms. But that was one of my favorite things I ever got as a child.
Jimmy says waist benders.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I remember playing with like the muscle characters, the little tiny.
Oh yeah, the little plastic.
Yeah, the millions of unusually sized creatures living.
Yeah.
I don't know but I had a bunch of them, and I would put like string on them, and like they'd like be repelling off of stuff, But those had no articulation whatsoever. Like they were just like, you could like chuck them at people and stuff. But
Tad's in the chat though. It's just he's firing missiles all over the
I
place.
mean, even think about like army men.
yes, yeah.
Little green army men. They didn't move. You had to set them up to be at war with each other.
Right.
So.
God damn it.
Yeah, we can still hear you, Rod.
Good.
We all had our Star Wars and G.I. Joes. Those are 5 points. They don't hardly do anything. Hey, we got Alpha Magnus in the chat. So, what's up, boys?
How's it going?
What's up, man? Plastic.
Yeah, I had kind of going vintage. I had pulled off the down from the shelf here this Remco figure for limited articulation. It's got the legs move and arms, and then the head and waist. That's about it. But I put a He-Man thing on him. But
I feel like people our age, we weren't on the internet, so we had to use our imagination.
Yeah.
So those characters moved as much as any characters with 30 points now. Our characters moved then as we wanted them to.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I pulled out some Imperial toys as well. Like no articulation whatsoever, but they look super cool. I mean, just having characters ride on these guys and just flying around.
Yeah, and I feel like those toys and some of the toys that I have in my daughter's room, Finley, she's 6, and I have some Godzilla stuff in there that's very limited articulation.
Uh-huh.
It's reasonably priced, and I can set it up in the corner of her room, and I don't feel bad about her playing with it. If she breaks it, she breaks it. But it's a good way to get her into Godzilla and toys, and I feel like it's really good for kids. You get them stuff like that, and they're like, "Oh, I really like these toys." Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool. LG.
But I mean, you can literally just have like 2 of them just like
hours of fun.
Yeah, I mean,
I do want that video of Jason with 10 robots on his fingers fighting.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm looking for that from Cracktastic Plastic in the next couple months.
Okay.
Talking about Funko. I mean, I pulled down some as well with those. I have the one, the Skeletor that rides.
Yeah.
And Stridor.
Just his head moves. Nice. Anything?
His head moves.
Yeah.
You can look around.
What's that over there?
What's that over there? But yeah, I mean, not even like the guns normally would move like on an actual figure, but
nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Wow.
But it looks awesome. Like I love how this looks. It's just, it looks like a little puppy dog.
Yep. Tad makes a good point. Those McFarlane movie maniacs at one time were basically plastic statues, one pose. That first line, definitely, for sure.
Were the old Spawn figures kind of the same way? They didn't really move much.
Yep. I got one in there. It's arms and head, but he has like this big molded cape thing that takes up his legs, so there's nothing. Jimmy says Mark's play sets as a kid, simply the best. Sears catalog every Christmas. Yeah, those were pretty simple stuff.
Yeah, Rod's a pop figure. I'm kind of the reaction thing with the Joe Bob stuff. I do have some Japanese Godzilla figures that are still in the box, but what I've looked at, their hands are interchangeable, but I don't look like they move very much. I mean, and it's got a little figure with it. This is Gamera. It's got a little figure that maybe moves, but I mean, he does not look like he's got much that moves.
Nope.
Yeah.
Maybe in the middle, a waist bender. So, but it's from Japan. So,
for those that know, that on every Sunday I post on one of the starting lineup figures.
Oh, nothing
for starting lineup Sunday, and they have. I mean, their arms can move a little bit.
Oh shit!
And then their head moves, but other than that, they're pretty
glued
much
to a stand.
Whatever, to a stand or whatever pose you want them in. Arms can kind of move a little bit, but like their waist and stuff. But otherwise, they're
even the step up from then when McFarlane started doing sports figures, they move some, but they're on a stand.
Yeah,
and they maybe have a couple more points of articulation on the, I don't even know what those are called, the McFarlane ones, but yeah, starting lineup was kind of the go-to for sports collectors.
Oh yeah,
and
they did. I mean, baseball, football, basketball.
We got Jason in the chat says Brian is lying to you. His favorite limited articulation is My Little Pony.
Yeah,
I'm a brony, huh?
Bronies.
That's all right. Nothing wrong with that.
For life.
I pulled up something that you guys I know probably collect, Toonie Terrors.
Yeah, I got some of those.
You know, there isn't much here. There's a little bit of wrist, a little bit of head. These arms do move. The legs kind of move a little bit. There ain't much to it, but my gosh, just the style and stuff, the way they look on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
hard to beat those guys.
Yeah, unfortunately, all mine are packed up still because I have no room in this apartment whatsoever. Should I could just show off something here?
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So this, I know, I'm sorry for the
Jack Torrance.
Jack Torrance. This is the frozen Jack Torrance.
Oh, it is.
I found this at Texas Frightmare, like the year that they opened up after COVID, and got this from another toy store, Nightmare Toys. I don't know if anybody's ever ordered from them.
I've
heard of. That's cool.
So
awesome.
But yeah, it's basically the same design, just blue and with some icicle like around his. You can't really see it, but his hair.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
cool.
Yeah,
nice.
Literally.
And Jimmy makes a good one. Shogun Warriors, limited movement, but they shot a bunch of cool missiles. You know, Godzilla tongue action with flying fist. Those Shogun Warriors.
Tongue
Definitely
action.
not much to those. They just roll and then they not much, but they're like so cool and so coveted right now. They're so expensive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Toonie Terrors and the pop figures are really good for people on I feel like a limited budget.
Mm-hmm.
I know Elgin does a lot of thrifting and a lot of like yard selling and stuff, so that's a great way to get
aisles.
Stuff. Yeah, clearance aisles. But if you want to collect and you're on a limited budget, even the reactions are like $20.
Yeah,
Toonie Terrors are 14.
Yeah, they're a little cheaper. But I think the reactions. Was it Super 7 doing them right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like depending on the price, it's the same mold on a lot of those, especially Joe Bob. And the good thing is, you know, you get a different color one or you get a glow in the dark one or whatever. But yeah, Funko, my God, how many different franchises have they brought to life? Like whoever thought that Killer Clowns from Outer Space would have been a Funko Pop. All these horror movies, you just never would have. They're not big, but they made a Funko Pop of them.
Sure.
The one that I do keep boxed up is the Sackhead Jason.
Mm-hmm.
I found this actually 2023, right before I was leaving for Halloween-a-Palooza at JCD and Hobby. And it was a Walgreens exclusive that you could never find in the store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
hate those.
Yeah, so it was like $40 or something like that. So I got a decent deal on it.
Nice.
But yeah, I keep that one in the box.
The best, Jason.
The best, yeah.
What is that?
So
Batman.
It's a Batman that was in a Burger King like Happy Meal thing. He can move his arm and that arm. And that's it.
Yep. I brought a food store toy too. I got me a little Starscream here, and it does that. And it's a jet. And then it's a robot. And I have a giant box in the other room filled with McDonald's toys and Burger King toys, and I just love them.
Yeah.
I remember we were in Burlington for a show. Maybe were we there for Snake Alley? Jason, do you remember?
Probably.
And we went to the Bigger Boat Collectibles.
Oh yeah.
And you found the McDonald's toys, the Transformers from the 80s.
Yep.
Or 90s.
The little changeable guys, little French fries turns into robots and things.
Pancakes and
yeah. Love those. There's nothing to them, but yeah, I think it just keeps part of the nostalgia. And being we were kids, we didn't care, like you said earlier, we didn't care about all that articulation. We had imaginations. It's okay.
We went outside.
We went outside. Yeah. We touched grass. It's those were the days, and that's why I think at least us of older age, maybe the kids that are collecting toys in their 20s and 30s, they need that articulation. But I feel like us older folks can be just fine with it, and just find the joy in not having all that, and how it reminds you of those times when we were younger. What the crap? Oh.
Yeah. Was that crap?
Yeah.
Is that from Is it Among Us?
Yep,
Is
it's
that
an
the name of that game?
Among Us character. So my son gets a bunch of these, and he's like, "You can have all my extra ones." So I now have like
47 of these little guys.
A bunch of little Among Us,
and they're cool as shit and look awesome on the shelf.
Just a half of a body with a bone sticking out. But yeah, like that stuff, and like continuing on with like extra pieces. So he collects a bunch of the Mr. Beast test tube stuff. So he's got a bunch of these little squishy guys, and they're like in different colors. There's an actual like Mr. Beast type of thing, but no articulation, but they're just kind of fun.
You don't know which ones you're gonna get. Is it like the mystery?
Yeah, it's like a blind test tube, I guess, thing. And he's like, "You can just have all my extras." I'm like, "Okay, I'll put them on the shelf somewhere." But yeah, they're just little fun little monsters,
And most blind bag stuff nowadays is all low articulation stuff anyway.
Oh yeah,
which is great, and it's very popular. So,
but I mean, the designs on them look great. I mean, just they're like, I don't know, just kind of fun little kind of like monster in my pocket type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it just kind of harkens back to that vintage stuff that we had.
Well, now they're putting like mini brands in. You're buying a box of cereal for $9.99, and it's you're like, you buy a real box of cereal for $4.
I mean, in the 80s, what was the 6 points of articulation was probably the most?
Yeah.
I mean, a G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joes, I thought the first year they didn't have elbows. They eventually got elbows.
They didn't have the swivel elbow.
It changed. Yeah.
Oh, that guy actually broke. Remember when I was saying that guy was going to break? He broke.
He broke. He broke. He's a
I have an O-ring for it. I can replace it.
That's how you know you're working with people that love toys. They're like, "No, I got extra parts."
Yeah,
you just unscrew the back, and then the body comes out, and you just put a new O-ring in. It connects to the
like a little Band-Aid.
It's really easy.
A little rubber band.
Yeah.
Do you buy those online?
You can buy them at like Menards. You just go to the like plumbing area, and get these O-rings, just like that little size. You can buy like a bag of like 100 of them for super cheap.
For a nickel. Yep. We got Larry Zeno in the chat. Says, "Rock on, my dudes. Robotech and Jetfire Starfire Vintage are still my jam. Voltron Optimus Soundwave had to recollect after the 2018 fire." Well, sorry to hear that, Larry.
That sucks.
Yeah, those vintage G1 Transformers, not a lot of articulation. And I love it about it. Just the way they all just stand there in formation and ready to go. I just blocks, just bricks they're called, I don't know, something about it. I love it.
Now thinking back, when I was a kid, the one toy I do remember that had a lot of articulation were those Dragonfly toys.
Dragonfly toys.
Where they look like people. They had insect eyes, but they all had their own little dragonfly that they fly on. And I think you could flap the wings or make the wings kind of move.
Like sectors.
It
reminds me of
was that what it was? I thought it was called I can't remember what it was called, but
sectors had the little spider hand thing that they could ride.
But I don't remember that. Well, yeah, wasn't the villains riding on spiders or something?
Yeah,
and the other ones,
sectors.
Okay, I'm uninformed. I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. It's an awesome line.
Yeah.
And they're kind of coming back out right now in Walmart too. If you
the place at the Hive is huge, the vintage one. We saw a couple of them on tour, Jason. It was it was giant.
Well, before we move on, you guys have any more to show off? Any more limited stuff hanging out? You want to?
I got a Darcy.
Oh, it's a Darcy.
I don't think she does anything. No, she bends at the waist and her arms move.
All right.
Guess you lost a friend.
That's right. She's got a mailbag and an Ernie. Oh, 5 points. I don't know where 5 points of articulation are on her, but yeah.
Ooh. Is that a rabbit?
It is. So you can get these in like the candy egg things. The
the Kinder eggs.
Eggs, yes.
They snap together.
And you put them together. Yeah, you put them together. And so he has a little backpack. So if you open up the backpack, it has a little map or stickers in it.
Oh my gosh.
And then I have another one. It's in the van. It's a turtle. And he sits up on my dash and he rides along with me.
Yeah, those are usually 2 pieces, 2 or 3 pieces.
Yeah, you can see the seam in the middle there.
Pain in the ass sometimes to put. You're like, it's not this easy.
Big.
Yeah, and then stick his backpack on. So it's fun. It's just a fun little, Kinder egg. Eat some chocolate and then get a toy as well.
I mean, you think about the
feel like a kid.
Hot Wheels and the monster trucks and the big Tonka trucks we had as kids out in the dirt.
Oh yeah.
Those didn't. What, the wheels move? The Tonka truck would dump back.
Right.
My co-host Clinton was like, "Tell him about my Happy Toys truck. It only moves 2 places." I was like, that's cool. And I mean, it's kind of cool that a toy truck would bleed into horror with the Stephen King movie. Sure. And he's having the Goblin Head up there in Michigan for an event in June, where he's going to have the original Goblin Head that somebody found in a junkyard and redid. So the guy takes it all over the country. Nice. And of course it's in June, like the 21st of June, and I'll be in South Dakota for a tumbling event, so I can't go.
Oh,
cool. Brian's a master tumbler.
Yeah,
he is articulated.
Yeah,
he is, after all. All right, we're going to take a quick little break. We're going to tell you about our podcast network, the PFPN, home of several awesome, super amazing podcasts that you should check out, and also proud members, The Wrong Podcast Died and I Like a Spooky Horror Podcast are on there. You can find the links to all that at thepfpn.com. But right now, this nice lady's going to tell you all about it.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.
All right, we are back, and now it's time for Elgin to take us on a store tour.
Oh, sorry, I was just rocking out to that music that was in between there. Today's store is called IE Toys. It's at 200 Paul Huff Parkway Northwest in Cleveland, Tennessee. Gotcha. It's located in the Bradley Square Mall. It has Marvel, DC stuff, Funko Pop, of course, Star Wars, wrestlers, Transformers, Motu, Lego, and much, much more. It's a veteran and family-owned store located in the mall. It was formerly Inland Empire Toy Store in Redlands, California. So they just took the I and E and then toys and made it a new store in Tennessee. It's about 11 hours and 17 minutes from Ottumwa. So get your big gulp and no doze and drive. Start driving. But if you're in Tennessee, specifically Chattanooga, it's only 37 minutes northeast of Chattanooga, Tennessee. And did you know Cleveland is the only city in Tennessee to adopt its namesake submarine? That's right, the USS Tennessee. It was originally at Pearl Harbor when it was attacked, but it wasn't seriously damaged. It was then repaired, then operated off the west coast of the U.S. in 1942. It also saw action in the Pacific Theater at the Battle of Iwo Jima and Okinawa. That's IE Toys at 200 Paul Huff Parkway, Northwest Cleveland, Tennessee.
I just left and came back.
He went there and is back.
Yeah. What'd you get?
They were
Some
closed.
Funkos?
They were closed. Dang it.
Oh, man.
Well, if you
Camera
out there,
has limited articulation.
if you want to help support the podcast, you can. There's lots of easy ways. Like one, tell a friend. Super easy, right? Two, go to Apple Music and Apple Podcasts and leave a review. 5 stars. That's what Elgin needs.
Easy.
Nothing less. Super easy.
I only accept 5 stars.
That's right. That's right. But if you do, we'll read them on the show, and that'll be cool, right?
Yes.
And then, enlistinthecore.com. That's the best way to help. If you go over there, that's our Patreon, and there's several different tiers, which is 2. So I don't know why I said several. But anyway, there's tiers over there. Lots of cool perks. Choose the one that best suits you. Yeah, that's what I'm an idiot. Yeah, bonus episodes and shout outs on the show and lots of cool stuff. And if you're more of a YouTube person, you can just click that join button down below. Be a channel member there. Enlist in the core that way. Same tiers, same awesome perks. You get some neat things there too, like colored badges, colored names in the chats, and exclusive emojis, all sorts of fun things. But that's enlistinthecore.com or join the channel below. Help out the show. And one of those, like I said, perks were shout outs. And I'm going to shout out our core members right now. We got Tony Miller, we got Chris Turnip Simmons, we got Alex LaForest, Bill Fisher, Colin Bunn, and Tiffany DeWeese. Thank you guys so much for being core members. You rock. All right. Well, before we go, Rod, Brian, any last shout outs where people can find you and all that good stuff?
Find us on the I Like It Spooky Horror Podcast Facebook page. You'll find us the wrong podcast under that. So if you look on Spotify, that's where you have to go to, or YouTube page. We do all kinds of things, indie spotlight, appendages. Help me out, Brian. I took the lead and I can't get it done.
I'm waiting for your camera to go out again.
It probably will. I think it's timed out.
Yeah. So we got I Like a Spooky Horror Podcast, where you find the wrong podcast. You listen wherever you get your podcasts. We have a YouTube channel where we do Salute the Shorts, where we cover short films. Let's Get Physical will be coming soon, where I'm going to cover physical media releases. God, what else do we do on there? Stupid videos. Not stupid videos.
The best. Yeah, I was going to say the best kind.
Yeah, we have appendages where we talk about streaming, usually stuff that's streaming for free. Yeah, but we did Screenbox this month. Indie Spotlight, where we highlight independent artists. We just did a band this month that should be coming out in a couple weeks. We've covered comic books, we've covered music, vendors, all kinds of stuff. You can come to Halloween-a-Palooza in Ottumwa, Iowa in October and see me and hide from Rod.
Yep. Always pimping this guy.
Rod, you're going to have to dress up as a different Universal monster this year.
I think I will.
Dracula last year.
It's a good theme.
Yeah, you got to keep it going. I mean, every once in a while you see me at a Cracktastic Plastic Con. I come to the toy shows, so
yeah.
I mean, I'm all over the damn place.
Yes. Well, thank you guys for being here. We really appreciate it. We also want to thank Larry Zeno with our first super chat. Look at that. Larry, you're the best. Thank you so much. He says, fire money. That's awesome, man. So my boy would warp tour lives out there. Sloth.
Now they can pay Rod's fee, $1.99.
Yeah.
Well, I said all those words wrong. My boy from Warp. My boy from Warp Tour lives out there. Oh man, words are hard.
Oh, out in Cleveland, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome, man. All right, we're going to get out of here. We're going to do it. We said all the things. We're good, right? We're good. We're all right.
Yeah, I'm going March Monday Night Raw.
We're going to go stretch out, work on our articulation. Rod, you can do it.
He's
He's trying.
3 points of articulation.
I'm stuck.
All right. Thanks everybody for watching and listening. We'll talk to you next time. Keep being awesome. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast. But not so fast, my foul fiends. Don't forget to follow these fools on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And visit cracktasticplastic.com. I'll be back.